Good morning, good morning, good morning, and happy Tuesday. This is Gigi. This is Walking 1K with Gigi. I urge you to get up and move at least 1,000 steps with me this morning. I came out of the house. The weather here in the 757 is just so unpredictable. It was cooler yesterday morning, and so I said, well, might be a little cool this morning, and had to go back and shed clothes. I had on my ski cap and I had on a heavy jacket, and I said, oh my goodness, let me go back in and change a little bit. But it is beautiful this morning. This is the day that the Lord has made, and we're rejoicing in it. Oh my goodness, this is Tuesday. It's April 15th here. It's called Tax Day. So y'all know what y'all got to do. You're supposed to have your taxes filed uh, today. This is the deadline. So this is tax day. But also it's another day, special day. I want to give a shout out to our son, James Jr., and his beautiful wife, Lynette. It is their 8th anniversary today. Happy anniversary, y'all. And, may you be blessed with many, many, many more. Oh my goodness. Well, today I'm continuing with the words, the 7 last words of Jesus when he was on the cross. Yesterday, we talked about the first two. As Jesus was on the cross, he looked down and he said, Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. And we said there was power in forgiveness, and you have to have power to forgive and love like that. And then the second word was when he was in between the two thieves, and at the very last minute, one of the thieves said, remember me when you come into paradise. And he said, remember me when you get into your kingdom. And Jesus said, today. He didn't hesitate. He didn't, put the thief down for not believing him earlier, anything. But he said, today thou shalt be with me in paradise. But today, oh my God, Lord gave me some new revelation when it came to this third word of Jesus from the cross, as I'm sharing from a special devotional of the Daily Bread, the Messiah's last words. And he was looking down as he's on the cross, and he sees his mother. He sees his mother. And it says in John, the 19th chapter, the 26th and the 27th verse, when Jesus therefore saw his mother and the disciples standing by, whom he loved, and this was John, he said unto him, woman, and they say in the NIV, dear woman, because in those days, it sounded kind of disrespectful to call your mother just woman. In this day and time, that'd be disrespect. But anyway, that's what they did. But he said, woman, behold thy son. Then said he, the disciple, behold thy mother. He said to the disciple, behold thy mother. And from that hour, that disciple took her unto his own home. As I was studying this and reading this, actions speak louder than words. Also, although he called his mother woman, it was the actions that just showed you how dear that she was to him. So my gem nugget today, Jesus did the cross from the cross. Oh, y'all will get this in a minute. Jesus did the cross from the cross. Although the cross was a symbol of torture, crucifixion. Every time we think of the cross, we think of how Jesus died through this horrible method of crucifixion. But the cross also is a symbol of love. A symbol of love. How is that? Think about when Jesus was questioned by a lawyer. What are the greatest commandments? And the commandment was to, first of all, love the Lord thy God with all thy heart and all thy soul and all thy mind. To me, that represents the vertical part of the cross, pointing up to God. And then the horizontal part, to love thy neighbor as thyself. And Jesus went on to tell the story about the Good Samaritan. And at the end, Jesus asked the lawyer, well, who kept the commandment? Well, it was the Good Samaritan. And so Jesus told the lawyer, well, in the same way, you do the same thing. Do the cross. Jesus did the cross from the cross, even as he was dying. Because I learned this morning that it was a Jewish custom in the Jewish culture. A dying son would commit his mother's care to a male sibling. Now, although John, the disciple, was not a biological brother, he was still in the family, because actually Jesus's brothers didn't even believe in him as a Messiah. James didn't believe until after he was resurrected. But John was part of the family. And it reminded me of another time when Jesus, somebody told Jesus, said, your mother and your family is looking for you. And he said, who is my mother and who is my brothers? And he pointed to the disciples, says, here is my mother and here are my brothers. For whoever does the will of my Father in heaven is my brother and my sister and my mother. And so he committed the care of his mother to the disciple John. Oh my God, this is awesome. To John, and he said to his mother, woman, behold thy son, and son, behold thy mother. Because John was in the family, because he did the will of the Father. He was the one that was always up on Jesus, close by. If you read John, his whole thing is about love. But the thing that got me, that even at this, oh my gosh, horrible moment in Jesus's life, as he's hanging on the cross, he did the cross. He loved his mother. He loved his neighbor as himself. Oh my God, that was the revelation I got. Jesus did the cross from the cross. No, it's not enough to just wear the symbol of the cross. We need to do the cross. That means to love, first of all, God with all our heart and all our soul and all our mind. And then, as Jesus, think about it, his arms are stretched out horizontally, and he cared for his mother to make sure that she would be taken care of. Good God Almighty, we need to do the cross. We don't just need to talk about it. We need to do the cross. And that's exactly what Jesus did. He did the cross from the cross. He said, woman, behold thy son, and son, behold thy mother. Beautiful, 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 beautiful picture of love. And he demonstrated it himself from the cross. Oh my gosh, who would have thought about caring and loving somebody? And he did it. Even in the first word, he even cared so much, he told his fathers, forgive them, for they know not what they do. I care for you, thief, and today you'll be with me in paradise. But mother, behold thy son, and son, behold thy mother. He demonstrated love even from the cross. Oh my gosh, every time I think about it, it's beautiful. It's just beautiful. Well, this is Tuesday. So please join me this evening for Church School Live. Oh, we're going to put the icing on the cake in the lesson because um, Sunday is Resurrection Sunday. And of course, the lesson is Christ dies and rises to new life. Yes, we'll be covering the resurrection story. Somebody say, well, I've heard it over and over again. But every time you think about it, it's new revelation. And Lord even gave me a new revelation, even as we're getting ready to study this lesson tonight. See, the only thing that sets our I would say religion apart from the others is that it's more than a religion. It's a relationship. And the thing that set Jesus apart from all the other leaders of other um, religions is that not only did he have to shed his blood, but he had to be risen from the dead. There is no other leader that is still alive. They all died. They all died. Even the people that Jesus raised from the dead, Lazarus, he raised from the dead, but he died. But Jesus, once he was risen from the dead, he is still alive. He lives. That's what makes the difference. But join me tonight. Join me tonight. Oh, it's going to be on tonight. Putting the icing on the cake in this quarter called Costly Sacrifices. The title is Christ Dies and Rises. Oh my God. It wasn't enough for him to just die, but he had to rise from the dead. That made all the difference in the world. All right. Well, I'm going to continue to enjoy this beautiful walk. I know y'all heard those birds singing. It is beautiful out here today. But follow Jesus' example because Jesus did the cross from the cross. Y'all be blessed. Bye.